receptacle for barbecues, tailgates, fairs, and festivals, and you, sir, do not have a pair of testicles if you prefer drinking from glass.
All right, guys, welcome back. It's episode 2 of the Dynasty show. What are we calling this? Cups Dynasty off-season extravaganza?
Something like that. Yeah, we'll workshop that, though.
Yeah, we gotta figure that out.
We'll figure that out.
We got like 4 more episodes after this. We can figure something out.
We'll put the pieces together.
Oh, goodness. All right, well, we got Anthony. We got Logan. I'm here. And we got Noah. Noah's here with us. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to talk about his team today. We're going to talk about mine, too. Should be a good time. We finished 8th and 7th in the league, so that's why we got us going. But before we do that, we had the Combine this past week, so I wanted to touch base on that, bring all that information to you all. Here's the news. Not much here. Really not a whole lot going on at the Combine. Top flight guys didn't even post. The ones who didn't do anything. Some of them took interviews. Some of them didn't even do that. Caleb Williams, he was just there. It's almost like he got paid to be there, so I imagine that's what went down. But yeah, he didn't do anything. So a couple guys that did. A couple running backs. Got to make a name for yourself in this draft if you're a running back, because nobody's taking you until round 3 at best. But I don't know how to say this guy's name. Isaac Guerendo?
Guerendo, yeah, I had him
Louisville?
there. He was quick. He's real quick, but he's big.
Yeah, he's big and quick. But
That's what you're looking for.
He's like the backup. He's the backup in Louisville. He's not even the starting running back there. So I mean, he would. What's that? Like a day 3 pick maybe? But
yeah, probably third, fourth, fifth round, something.
Nice athletic profile there. So
you know who I liked the looks of that actually made me feel better about him was Corum. I didn't like him before that, really, even though he was kind of pretty highly ranked early on for running back rankings. But you see him, and he's a small guy, but he looks big. I came out of that I thought he was just small. Nah, he's small, and I think he's gonna be fine. So that I felt better about him. Yeah, Guerendo. I had that group of wide receivers that we had towards the end of the first round on our mock class, the Thomas, Worthy, Mitchell, those guys, Franklin. I thought they all kind of balled out and wound up continuing to stay in kind of a group. I expected maybe one of them would kind of go off and pull away, but they were all kind of nice. So just made me feel like the end of the first round wide receivers are even better than we already did. And I thought Dunze had a good stretch because he did everything as the best wide receiver there, and he placed well in everything. He was top 4 or 5, I think, in every event. So I thought he showed out well.
Was he 4.49? His 40 was
4.46, maybe something like that. Yeah.
Blow off the start too.
Yeah, but he's big. He's 6'3". He's a big guy.
He did.
yeah, a lot of it's going to come down to where they're drafted, how we feel about them. We'll know more about that after the draft. But yeah, they look good. Those guys look good. It's a huge wide receiver class. Wide receivers all over the place. So
dude, even the next tier of them, McConkey, Tez, Walker, and Leggett, I thought they looked pretty sick too. Walker and Leggett looked like fucking studs physically. And McConkey was fast.
He definitely.
Dude, all these wide receivers are sick. You could take them whenever you can.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great year to have a first or a second.
You're gonna be all right with your thirds. I got that. Don't you worry.
I'm gonna have to hit. I gotta hit on those. Oh man!
You guys have anybody going down after those couple of days?
Bucky Irving is the guy.
I had him too.
Yeah. He didn't look good, and it's too bad because he was one of the top rated running backs coming out. I mean, he just didn't perform like at all.
He's small and he like looked kind of small,
and
unlike
unathletic.
Corum. Yeah, he wasn't fast. He didn't jump high, and he's small.
Yeah, yeah, not a good showing. Not a good showing.
Just say he wasn't. I mean, he ran like a 4.4 or something, but you know, some guys were quicker. And I had Franklin. I thought fell too because his 40 wasn't that good.
His 40
and
was
his
bad.
Catching drill was weird. He was like fucking zigzagging.
Well, he's weird looking. He's long.
Didn't jump that high. Yeah. So of that group of receivers, I thought he was the one that kind of maybe dropped back a little bit.
Yeah, I still like him.
I admittedly didn't look at the verts and route running or anything like that, but I did pay close attention to the 40s, and it's fairly evident that Keon out of Florida State, he's being mocked in a different round because he ran off 4.6 something, 4.61 or something. But I imagine his vert was what it was, and everything else was what it was. I know we pay so close attention to this combine, but we were just talking about it before we started recording, and it wasn't so long ago that Lenny Fournette was thought of higher than Dalvin Cook because of the combine. And if, hindsight being 2020, what the fuck are we doing? So why we don't put pads on these cats before we tell them to run 40 yards or jump as high as they can, unbeknownst to me.
It would make more sense. Actually, somebody mentioned that and on the broadcast at one point, I think, and they were like, it would just be really hard to get all the pads there for however many people need to use them over the court. They were like, it's logistically hard to get everybody's pads there.
That's logistically difficult.
Apparently.
We plan for this thing for months and months and months, and we can't get pads on. Somehow
Roger.
we can do it week to week during the season,
Roger.
but we can't figure it out during. Okay, sure. Okay.
All right.
Roger.
Is there anything else we got to say about the combine? All right, well, that's enough of the combine. Let's talk a little bit about the team breakdown. God bless you. We're gonna start with Noah's team. Yeah, we'll do that because he was 8th place. Loser. I was 7th. Not great. We'll talk about me after Noah. So, Logan, did you prepare anything for Mr. Noah Marshall here?
Yeah, I've got a little bit of things. Let's remind the people what we're highlighting. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do strengths. We'll do weaknesses. Okay. We're gonna do some potential moves, and then we'll look at some draft targets.
Okay, great. Well, for finishing 8th, Noah, I think you ought to be pretty pleased with where you're at, given the general landscape of things. It was just last week or a couple weeks ago, whatever episode we did first, I was talking about how everybody's going to have a problem at running back. Everybody. Well, you're one of the select few that seems to be set pretty okay at running back, particularly if you're looking at a 2-year plan. If you're looking much further than that, maybe not so much. But you got Joe Mixon, 27-year-old, still kind of crushing it given the offense that he's sitting in. That being said, there's been talk of him potentially on the way out due to the Bengals salary cap. So it's plausible that he's a quote unquote salary cap casualty, but that's information that will be brought to the forefront very soon. It's fast approaching. I believe we're talking about like the end of the month. So you'll have some clarity on that front here very soon. Aaron Jones, 29 years old, not receiving a lot of competition for that role. doesn't necessarily look like a 29-year-old because it seems like he's constantly recovering from a silly injury. And right now he's in good shape, and that's all present tense, kick-ass RBs. If we're in a redraft, you're pumped to have those guys. But you also have Isaiah Pacheco, 25 years old, running like a goddamn horse, running for his life. Brian Robinson, 24 years old. Who the hell knows what's going on in Washington? But he's young, and in all likelihood, he's going to be the RB1 there. Antonio, see ya. Sorry. Good luck on another special team squad. Hold on to the rock, bro. Tyler Algier, 23 years old. And if he's in the right circumstance, under the right guidance, right scheme, he's a tough yard gainer, goal line work consistently. You ought to be proud about what you got going on at RB, although there is certainly something to, you certainly have to add something because of the old guys and the question marks that I originally said. So that I consider your RB situation a strength. Currently, dude, you have 4 starting quarterbacks. One of them's Joe fucking Burrow. So you can feel really good about that. You ought to feel fantastic about that. You got Will Levis, who isn't exactly proven, but he's showcased some talent. And for what I can tell, they're going to give him at least another year. I mean, why the hell not, given the current state of affairs in Tennessee? Derek Carr, technically a starting quarterback for the Saints. Mac Jones, technically a starting quarterback for the Pats. So, and these technicallys are kind of a huge deal because a technically starting quarterback is a starting fucking quarterback in Superflex. So I think you're pretty good there. It's rarefied air that somebody in our situation has 4 starting quarterbacks, albeit 3 of the 4 and so many question marks. But you got Joe. That ought to be good.
Looking like the Riddler up in that QB room.
No kidding. But it might be great. It might be stable. It might be, you're not going to worry about bye-week shuffles so long as they can hold the line. Wide receiver, I don't think it's awful. I think it's okay. I mean, you got T. Higgins, 25. You got Zay Flowers, 23. You've got, who's apparently fighting a domestic assault case or something. But,
I think it got dropped.
Whatever. It did get dropped.
It.
Hey.
I got lucky.
There you go.
He's innocent then.
You got two skins, but Samuel's a decent flex, and if Dotson can regain the momentum and potential he had his rookie year versus whatever the fuck we were doling out this past year, I still believe in Dotson. I like Dotson a lot. So there's a lot of things in key positions at key components that you can hang your hat on, and hats off to you, because I know a lot of that was founded and accrued through your own due diligence and trade, specifically with me. And so I think you're pretty well set up through your, well, minus tight end, through your flex spots and QB. So good on you there.
Thank you. All right.
No, you're welcome, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, Noah's got a good team. He's got a good lineup, really good starting lineup. It's a mix of guys that are at their peak probably now, with some guys that are definitely still coming up but are super useful now. Yeah, you got options at QB. There's a good chance at least one of those other guys will be starting a game if one of them gets benched or whatever, they'll go in out. Yeah, right. You'll have a QB too. Yeah, it's a good squad, and you've got really most of your picks going forward too, which is super helpful to keep reloading. Yeah, man. I think you're contender status.
Right on.
I didn't even mention Cooper Kupp, who I do think is very well on the decline. But you got Debo over there in San Fran. He's a fucking horse. He's still only 28, and he's played as much as he's sit. So he's more like a 26 and a half. So I don't know. You got a good squad.
Old Dynasty math. You gotta love that. All right. So we did strengths. We did weaknesses.
Well, I'll say this. I'll say, as far as opportunities go, I would consider your picks an opportunity. You got what you got, but you don't have anything more. You don't have anything sitting there that you wouldn't have had otherwise, because you did make good use of your picks in previous trades, and so good on you. And your team looks the way it does because of it. But you could use some more. And while I applauded you having 4 QBs, and I do, I mean, it's a big deal in a super flex league, your QB ceiling is less than, I wouldn't consider it advantageous. Like you've got 4 guys that you can plug in that spot, and they're going to get you 20, 25 plus any given week, but no more than that. So I think you're probably hoping that you can secure a trade or do something that'll alleviate that stressor and give you somebody that's a little bit more exciting, that can move the needle on that front. And while I talked about your flex, specifically RB and wide receiver, I think we'll all agree that tight end is certainly an opportunity. Something that probably needs correcting sooner than later.
I don't mind taking a shot at Davis Allen though. There, I think he looked pretty good in those games he played for the Rams.
Yeah.
See what he does. Not bad.
I picked him up off the waiver.
Logan Thomas doesn't have a team, right? Currently,
he's gone. He's done.
Yeah. The only thing I would say weaknesses was for Noah's squad is just maybe like a little injury prone. I would say, looking at this, so I could definitely see a lot of those guys having hamstring injuries. That's if they're out there, it's gonna be a squad.
No, what do you think about your team?
There you go. Clean.
Well, starting with my strengths, I really like my receiving core a lot. I actually have running back as a weakness for me just because of the age of my top 2 guys. Just if I'm not able to acquire, some younger guys here in the future. Joe Mixon's possibly going to a different team. Don't know what kind of offense he's possibly going to be in. And then Aaron Jones, he's pretty injury prone, so it's always a hamstring injury, ankle injury, something with him. But I love my receiving core with Cooper Kupp and Debo. I'll probably have Kupp for 1 more year, I would think, maybe 2. Depending on how this year goes, and maybe Puka Nacua takes actually a little bit of pressure off him. And
I like that.
And then Debo, he's in an offense where each one of them guys every week can go off at any given time. And then with Isaiah Pacheco and T. Higgins and Zay Flowers are young guys that have a lot of potential coming up in the league throughout their career. And I think weakness would be a quarterback position as well. I do have 4 starting quarterbacks, like Logan said. But the only one that we absolutely know is Joe Burrow and what he brings to the table each and every week.
No, I got to ask, were you a little worried about the report on what his wrist injury was, I think, last week or something? Like, fairly significant wrist injury. So, God. I hope he's okay, because I love me some Joe Burrow.
That's news to me.
Yeah, it's fun to watch.
They went back and gave more details on exactly what he hurt in his wrist, and it's something that's it wasn't great.
Not ideal. Yeah, anytime you use your hands and your wrist and your arm as your job, and one of those things doesn't work, it's never good for your job. Yeah.
Not best.
It's not what you want. All right. So that's what you think about your team. You think it's pretty good, but you need some help.
Yeah.
All right. You should start trading.
Well, let me add this before we move on. I think Joe Burrow's he's a tough cookie. I think he'll be fine. I actually labeled you as a win now team, dude, because of the age that the aforementioned age of Joe and Aaron, and not really knowing what's going on with Joe. You get a small window with these RBs, and you're blessed to have a handful of them. You've got the 103, man. So like the quarterback thing doesn't. We already talked about how we're pretty proud of your wide receiver room. So the 103 is a quick fix, and you can make like one or two trades. And I don't have anything dialed up, but I do have you in win now mode. I think your team's close. Like for being, you're the third team we're talking about. But for being an 8 seed, I think you're in pretty damn good shape. Seriously. So,
yeah,
one or two moves.
Who do you think he should take in the draft?
He's kind of the first spot that I think the draft can go different ways. Because I really think Nate's taking MHJ. I don't think he's passing on him. So, I'd probably take whatever quarterback is there that you think's the best one left with that pick.
Right on. Logan, who should you take?
I'll do the same thing. I don't want to sound overly redundant. Last show I talked about taking a high-profile, high potential mobile quarterback, and if it shakes out and he's in the right spot, then why the hell wouldn't you take the kid out of LSU? I don't know. But I really do think you're close, dude. And I mean, Dynasty is a game of short windows. It's very rare that you can repeat in this game. So you can go from 10th to 1st, 8th to 1st, lickety split, just like that. So if I'm you, I go fucking all in this year.
Boom.
Yeah, I can see that. Paul just repeated on our asses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. Anthony, you got to talk about my team. Please be gentle.
Oh, I'm familiar with your team. I'm pretty learned on it. We've made some trades in the past. I've perused this roster. I recognize some of the folks that are residing on it now. Yeah, it's a team you would have thought would have finished better than 7th last year. Was on pace to, got banged up, never filled its potential. But that being said, still strong. Honestly, I'm just overall your strength is your starting lineup. You have guys that are like number one at their position on their team, pretty much up and down it. You got top 3 quarterback from last year, 2 top 5 running backs. You got Jetta, Adams, and Wilson, who all I think you can probably safely say will have better years than they did last year, like situation wise. So that's a big boost coming back for you. So your wide receivers didn't wind up ranking well last year. Adams was 10, which surprised me, but everybody else was a wide receiver 2 or something. But unlike Nate's team, like there's a lot more bounce back here. Like we said, Nate's wide receivers scored poorly, and I just think they're going to continue to score poorly. But no, you got weapons here, Nick. So starting lineup, I think it's a very, very competitive week-to-week team to start the year.
This is probably the best starting fucking lineup in the league, assuming health.
Yeah. What do you think?
What do I think?
I looked at That's fine. You go. Tell me what you think, Logan.
Bro, you got CMC.
Mm-hmm.
Rashad White is like CMC, let's call him 3.0. Or, not
Diet.
quite. But
He's great value,
JJ
CMC.
has been out. You got Justin fucking Jefferson. Vegas is committed to Adams. Garrett Wilson, again, I said assuming health, right? And you got Rodgers sitting at your super flex, and if both of those guys they're going to add O-line strength this draft class. In fact, they should overhaul on O-line strength. Monty, if Derrick Henry finds the right landing place,
give me Baltimore.
I love Trey McBride. I really do. I really like Trey McBride. You ain't got no depth, bro. But you're like Ant said, like Dak, Aaron. You gotta. I mean,
yeah, he's got point scorers.
You don't want to play against this team if they're right. Fuck no.
For sure.
This is a great
start. Second week in a row that you nailed the transition to the weaknesses, because the first one on my list is depth. Overall, starting lineup's awesome. The best bench guys are Stevenson, Lockett, and Russ. I guess he's gonna probably get a starting job still somewhere, so that's backup for the other weakness, which is age in some spots. Rodgers, he'll probably be good again. Hopefully, but we don't know, man. That guy's old. He likes drugs, and he blew out his leg. So hopefully, he can still play football. Darren Waller might retire. Apparently, did you hear that the other day?
Yeah, sure did. That's fun.
I don't know where that came from. And then so a lot of kind of probably branches you can start to trim from this roster in other spots.
Soon.
And then finally, you got no draft capital.
Are these picks real?
Yeah, you got
100%.
no firsts till 2026 and no seconds at all.
Hey man, banners hang forever. I haven't won one, but I've been going for him.
You're shooting. You shot them on.
I'll say this though: had I beaten Nick Manarino, Paul's not the champion this year. I would have been the champion this year had I just beaten Nick Manarino in the last regular season. Because that would have made me play Paul. I would have smoked every single person that week. It wouldn't have been close. I would have gone on to smoke everybody the following week and then win the championship.
Damn.
I was 1. And I would have beat Paul in week 1 as well had Aaron Rodgers not died on the 4th play of the damn game and scored me 0 points. I lost to Paul by 2 points or something.
Yeah, it was kind of a curse. It was a cursed season.
It was an ugly place to be. This room right here was a very sad place. I had the light off. I turned the fucking Jets game off on Monday Night Football that week. I'm going I can't believe this just happened to me.
I have to go to bed.
Oh, I was upset. Yeah, my weakness is I have no draft picks. I disagree. I think I do have some depth here. Depending on landing spots.
I like Ramondre.
Yeah, I got Ramondre. I got Tyler Lockett. He's still going to be something. Darius Slayton's the number 1 receiver on the Giants and has been for the last couple years.
He's 45% rostered.
Yeah, and he should be more. That's what I'm saying. He should be more. There should be more.
100% rostered in this league.
Darn right.
That's right.
And this is the only league that matters. That's what I'm talking about. But here's some potential moves for me. I don't know what you guys are thinking, but
what do you got?
Here's what I got. I need some fucking draft picks. I got some dudes, and if somebody's gonna be a contender this year, they should probably make a trade. So
I'll give you a first round right now for CMC.
I bet you would. And a second, a 1 and a 2.
Ooh, a live deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you gotta try to win.
I will ride that dude into the ground.
I tried to give him last night the 103 for Garrett Wilson, and we didn't do it.
I wouldn't.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I said, and what else is what I said. Verbatim. What do you think?
When you were talking about your bench, one guy on your bench, Demarcus Robinson, he had a monster last 5 games of the season last year. All the dude did was catch touchdowns.
Yep.
So Yeah.
Grass-fed Strall's here. I'm just like, yeah, that guy's good.
Yeah.
He's on my bench.
I love the dude. He played well. He was fun to watch the last few games of the season. I like your quarterbacks. I hope Aaron Rodgers comes back and he's old Aaron Rodgers from his injury. And you got Justin Jefferson. That's a big piece to build your team around.
Mm-hmm.
You're definitely going to probably – I would probably even say Trey McBride has a good shot to finish in the top 3 again in tight ends.
I like where you're going with this.
And then with Garrett Wilson, I mean, the dude's a monster if he has a quarterback. And he still didn't finish that bad for playing with Zach Wilson and Mike White for most of the year. So
yeah, he's still right at the back end of the wide receiver twos, right? Like 25,
they didn't finish 29th on the year.
See how it goes.
But yeah, I think you do have some depth. I mean, you do have Ramondre and then Tyler Lockett, and I really like Demarcus Robinson. I think he's gonna be a good piece of that Rams offense this year.
Yeah, you heard it from Noah. My team's
Bang.
awesome.
Yeah, I got a couple moves for you here, but nothing huge really, because I think you need your big guys to win, and if you start trading these guys, then I think you're starting to go the other way. So you got to be like 1-5 or something before you consider making a big trade, I think. But just couple small ones. Can you flip Russell plus David Montgomery and get like Stafford and a 2nd-round pick and get a little youth in the door, shore up that 3rd QB a little bit? Throw Devontae out there now. Maybe Logan gives you Dobbs and a pick, something like that for Devontae at this point. I don't know. Talk to Logan about it. But that's all. I don't have anything crazy for you.
Yeah.
I think you need your guys to win, and you've got to win.
Yeah, Banner's saying forever, man. Unless this team retires out, then it's dead. Logan, what do you think?
I think I actually owned CMC 2 teams ago.
Mm-hmm.
How fucking stupid am I?
Real dumb.
Real fucking dumb. Well, to be fair, he was super hurt, and he hasn't been hurt since.
I feel your pain.
But yeah, you do. You likely have to move one of these guys. But hell, man, JJ and Garrett Wilson. A little concerned about Garrett Wilson. I understand all the shit that he had to contest. I'm not talking about passes. But he still received a hell of a lot of targets. How many of them were catchable, I don't know off the top of my head. But he still received a shit ton of looks, and it didn't shake out. I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. I think Garrett Wilson is an excellent talent. I wish I had him on my team. But the point is that JJ and Garrett, great building blocks. You don't want to go away from them. I just hope that he regains, the persona that we kind of fell in love with his rookie year. I don't know. You were in win now mode last year. You were in win now mode the year before. You're in win now mode now. You're up against age. Things have got to happen for you. These guys cannot, I repeat, cannot get hurt.
Yeah, you're right.
If any one of these guys goes on IR, all your papers to the ceiling kind of thing.
No, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fine because I'm going to reload on some depth. Anthony, tell me about who I'm drafting with my picks.
Hey, man, good year to have 2/3. I'll tell you that.
Skippy it is.
You're going to get some talent down there, my man. For you, I'm looking at if there's a QB that falls, like if Michael Penix is weirdly still there, take him. I don't think he will be, but I don't know.
On this show, his name is Penix.
Sure.
That's right.
But more than likely, I think
He's got a huge cock.
I think you're taking 2 out of that next group of wide receivers with these 2 third-round picks. Like, if you get 2 out of Leggett, Corley, or Tez Walker with those spots, I think you're walking away from that pretty happy.
Hey, man, last year...
Another disappointing 40, Tez Walker.
Yeah, last year in the third round,
yeah.
I got a guy named...
He must have been his second round. I only saw his first.
Oh, Tez was like 4-3 something.
Must have been his second round. Combine.
We're back on it.
Hey, man, last year my third round was Tank Dell. So...
It worked out. Made that worth your while.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, overall, team grade. Can I give you a team grade?
Go ahead. Wish you would.
Team grade. Win now, like right now.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what I got you clocking in at.
That's cool. I was
Starting
kind of
lineup,
expecting a letter, but I'll win now makes sense.
win now, like right
team
now.
Grade.
Starting lineup can compete for a title. There's no doubt about that. Injuries could make this roster scary real quick. I think Logan nailed that as well. And if it goes really bad, you got the Jetta emergency eject button, and you can send him off and very quickly
get all your picks back.
Start building a new
You would like
roster.
to trade
So,
next year's draft capital. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I agree. I think I have more than a couple quarterbacks here, though. I know you said Noah had 4. I got like 1, 2 in my starting lineup. Russell Wilson, we'll see. We'll see. Daniel Jones will probably still be a starter. They owe him way too much fucking money for him not to be a starter.
Rumors out of the combine were not positive for whole Daniel.
I have watched the rumors. I've heard them.
Not buying it.
It's like $40 million. It's like 40. They're gonna pay him $40 million this year to not sit on a bench for sure. I would imagine.
Yeah, I think you hold on to Dan and Russ. You probably can afford to get rid of Gardner.
Nope, because Gardner Minshew, he's going to be the Raiders starting quarterback next year.
Ooh, I like that a lot.
And then Trey Lance, yeah, he's still hanging around. He's there. He's going to start for the Minnesota Vikings.
Word.
Minnesota Vikings. I get my stack. I get the Trey Lance, Justin Jefferson stack.
You don't want that for Dustin.
That's not good for JJ.
Ah, he's quarterback proof. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
My one possible move that I put down for you was to get a upcoming young quarterback to match with Dak, just because Aaron Rodgers is a dinosaur.
I'm gonna use one of my first round picks on that. That's what I'm gonna do there.
Well, trade to get one.
Trade, yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, that's exciting, man. That makes me get pumped to talk about the moving free agents or the potential moving free agents we got going on this year.
Let's do that. Let's do that now. We talked about my team. We talked about Noah's team. We haven't taken up enough of your time, so let's take up a little more. How about we decide where these free agents are going to land? Legal tampering starts Monday. Free agency's Wednesday, I think. So a lot of running backs. Saquon, rapid fire. Where's Saquon going? Anthony.
Texans.
Texans. I like that. That's nice. Logan.
Sure, Texas. No matter where he goes, it's not going to be the right fit.
Probably not. Where's he going?
I've got him going to Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Ooh.
I'm picking Dallas. I bet you he lands in Dallas.
Wow, that'd be a knife in the heart of the Giants fans.
Yeah, but didn't pay the man. Didn't give him a contract. He can go wherever he wants. So, what about Derrick Henry? Where's he going? Logan.
Replacing Josh Jacobs.
You got Ravens?
Replacing Josh Jacobs on the Raiders.
Raiders? Where's he going? Raiders? I got him going to Baltimore. I like that. You know it'd be cool, though, if he went to Buffalo. I can see him going to Buffalo. They don't have any money, though, do they? Buffalo doesn't have any money. All right. Josh Jacobs.
Oh.
Where's he going?
Chiefs. Oh, sorry. I thought I was thinking Eckler. I don't know where the fuck Jacobs is going to go.
Okay.
Jacobs is going to the Eagles.
Jacobs to the Eagles?
Yeah.
Not a clue. Not a fucking clue.
I don't hate that, though. I don't hate that. I think he's gonna stay with the Raiders. I think they'll give him some money. I think they will. What about you?
I think he's going to go to the Chargers if Eckler does not stay with them.
Chargers. All right, well, let's talk about Eckler then. I think he's staying in Los Angeles.
For what team?
Why do I have to
see
pick
him
team?
taking a tremendous pay cut to be on a winning team, and like I said, I've got him going to the Chiefs. McKinnon's out. CEH is likely out. Pacheco, first down, second down. Eckler can mix into that fold as well, but be a dynamic third down back.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun to watch. Anthony?
Eckler going to the Giants to replace Saquon, and they pay him money, and he's going to suck.
I love that.
But they wouldn't pay Saquon.
I love that.
Oh my gosh,
Football.
that's funny. What about Tony Pollard? Where's he going?
Stays in Dallas.
Yeah. Okay. You think Dallas?
Yeah.
Okay. Logan, what are you thinking?
I think more than likely.
Dallas. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm picking the Eagles on this one. I think he's gonna be with the Eagles. That'd be just feels like it fits.
I can see that.
You know, speaking of the Eagles, one guy we didn't talk about, DeAndre Swift. You think? What do you think? I know he's a moving target, but
honest to God, put him on Kansas City. I bet you that's ridiculous.
Tampa.
Tampa's not bad. Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have a good spot for DeAndre Swift.
Fair enough.
I think he might stay with Philly.
All right, let's talk about a quarterback. Kirk Cousins. Where's he going?
I hope he stays in Minnesota for at least 1 year.
I think he stays with the Vikings too.
I could see him going to the Falcons, but I could also see him coming home if that's something the Harris Group wants to do.
Coming home to Washington?
He doesn't want to come
Come
home.
on
Dude.
back down. I don't know,
You don't
man.
wanna
His
come.
wife really enjoyed Washington. He's a family man.
I think he
he's
gets
going
a
to Atlanta.
1 year with a 2-year option. They still draft a quarterback to learn while he's still.
Have you paid attention to any of the Kirk Cousins contracts over the last 7 years?
Dude makes money.
He just
Kirk,
gets.
Kirk likes his cheddar.
It's crazy. I think he's going to Atlanta. I think Atlanta would be crazy not to. But I think every team's gonna look into it. They're gonna talk about it because why not? It's Kirk Cousins.
I think he's the first domino.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Calvin Ridley. Let's get into wide receivers. Where's he going?
Jets.
I think he stays with the Jags.
That would be great for Atlanta. They'd get a better draft pick. Logan, what are you thinking?
I don't think it really matters.
I'm sending him to the Bears. What about Hollywood Brown?
Chargers.
That'd be cool.
I like that.
Logan, Hollywood?
Listen, I know I'm shooting for the moon over here by saying the Chiefs every other time I have this option. But
do you have Patrick Mahomes on your team? What are you doing? You manifested
I don't,
some wild
but
shit.
goddamn, if they're going to make Scantling their highest paid wide receiver at what, $12.5 million,
They cut him.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. He gone. So they'll give anybody some money if they show flashes.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think there might be something there. Seriously.
If I'm Kansas City, I'm going after this next dude, Gabe Davis.
AC?
Yep. It's more the same. I mean, it's Marquez Valdez-Scantling, but bigger.
He can catch the ball.
Gabe Davis goes to the
Sometimes.
Dolphins.
Dolphins? Oh, that would be ridiculous. It's kind of fun.
The Dolphins would make sense. He only shows up 25% of a 17-game season. They've got 2 other strong options. They wouldn't need him necessarily. He would stretch the field. They wouldn't have to overspend. Yeah, it would make sense.
Yeah, their wide receivers after the top 2 are just kind of bad, and they don't have anybody big. So Gabe would be a good fit with them.
It's not bad.
Gabe Davis going to the Ravens.
I could see that too.
I can see all these guys ended up in Carolina.
I think
Nobody
we
wants
nailed
them
it.
to be in Carolina. Nobody wants to be in Carolina, but that's where they could all end up. Including Hunter Henry. It's the only tight end we need to talk about. Any idea where he's gonna go? Not Washington. We just got the great Zach Ertz. So
Got no idea.
got that going for us. All right.
I'm going to wake up upset about the Ertz signing. How much money did we give him?
Like $5 million.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Too much.
We got a lot of that.
Is Dalton Schultz a free agent?
Not anymore. He got a little
Extension.
deal from the Texans. Yep. All right. Anything else we need to say about Dynasty before we
No.
sign off of here?
Who we got next week, boys?
Oh yeah, good question.
All right. Well, next week we are going to talk about a couple Manarinos, Chris and Nick, to be specific.
Uh-huh.
We're going to chat about those guys, and we're going to recap some of the free agency stuff that happened and go over the impact on various people's dynasty teams. So
yeah.
So don't forget to tune into that one. That's going to be a great show. Probably won't have Noah with us, but we might.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for having me. I
really
enjoyed
appreciate it. Great to see you, man.
All right. Well, if we don't have anything else to say, we are going to let you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Mother Cuppers, stay safe out there. And until next week, until next episode.
Later.
Yeah, I was going to say good luck, but we don't have any games to play. So hopefully free agency works out for your team. See you guys.
I love you, Red Solo Cup. I lift you up, proceed to party.